See, guys, this is the thing about life. You have to understand that if you're not going to the direction that you need to go in, you have to understand that you have to start making decisions every single day in your life to make sure that you're not procrastinating, so that you can realize that there is a better way of life every single time. So you have to understand that there's always a better way than what you're doing right now. So you have to realize every single day that if you want to go places, or if you want to travel, or if you want to get out of your 9 to 5 job, or whatever it is, you have to understand, you have to realize to do more content, produce as much as you can, and give that to people so that you can become an expert in something. You understand? So the more you become an expert in your field of interest, you understand? I promise you, this way you have freedom in what you're doing, because you're producing content, because you're helping other people. And the more you help other people, the more you get to places where you need to be. I see, guys, this is the thing about life. You have to understand that every single time you are doing something of interest, I promise you, you're just much more passionate about it. You understand? Because you're doing something that's interesting to you. You understand? So when you do something that's interesting to you on a daily basis, you're always going to have much more to go for. You're always going to have much more incredible abilities in you to succeed, because you're doing something much more that's passionate for yourself, something that's actually helping you to grow, something that's really helping you to talk words, for example, or even to just do something that's really, really making up your mind in a better way. You have to understand that if you want to do something that's every single day going to help other people, or that's going to really help yourself, I promise you, that's where you need to be. You need to be in a position of selflessness every single day, making sure that you're pronouncing your words out there, making sure that you're every single day doing the best way you can for yourself and other people. You understand? Because the better you are, the better your life. You see, guys, you're not getting to better stages of life because you're procrastinating. You're not doing what you need. You're not doing what you need to do. You understand? So what you need to do every single day is make sure that on a daily basis you're helping yourself to grow every single day by reading and writing as much as you can every single day, so that you actually have a better mindset, so you have a better focus around life. You have to understand, it's more about what you are staying away from every single day than what you are doing. You understand? So what you do is what not to do. You understand? So for example, you have to realize, for example, shopping. You have to understand all those foods from that category that you can get at the shopping center. You have to stay away from most of those foods right there. You understand? Because the more you stay away from life, the more you'll figure out life. You understand? Because that's how it is. And you have to realize every single day you stay away from life, you get to the wise things in life. You get to start having wisdom upon what you're doing. Do you want to know why I'm successful? I'm successful because I speak so many words. You understand? And that's what defines me. You understand? So every single day you have to understand that no matter what happens, I'm always trying to speak more words. And the more words I try to speak, the more words I get into the planet of words, for example. And you have to realize then I can go any direction I want to go in, because I can travel as much as I want in my words. You understand? So the words will unlock your life, I promise you. So you have to realize that if you stick to the words of life every single day, you realize every single day that you can go wherever you want to go, because the words will lead you there. You understand? So the whole point of life and getting smarter and everything that you want to do in life is just to get more common sense. You understand? So every single day, all you're trying to do in life is to learn how to make common sense much better. You see, guys, this is the thing about relationships with other people. You have to understand, most people are wasting time. I promise you, you have to understand why they are wasting time. Because they don't know how to do better. You understand? So if you stick around with people who understand how to do better each and every single time, then you're going to get the ideas, you're going to get the business skills, you're going to get the sales skills, you're going to get the spirituality, you're going to get everything you need in terms of information from these people. So if you stick to a better mindset every single time, I promise you that means you're going to get into a better state of flow. In a sense, so you have to realize every single day, no matter what, that you have to lead your words. You have to be able to lead words into fruition. In a sense, so you have to speak those words out of yourself every single day. You have to make content every single day so that you can help people, so that you realize every single day how you have to stick to your words if you want to get anywhere in a better direction. You understand? Because that's the only way. I see, guys, have you ever heard the saying, your life is what you make of it? Do you want to know what this really, do you want to really know what this means? It just means that you are the words you speak. So if you don't speak enough words, you won't have enough of a life. In a sense, so if you don't speak a lot of words, you won't have a lot of life. Apparently, if you don't speak if you don't speak more words, you won't have more of a life. Apparently, if you don't speak better words, you won't have a better life. In a sense, so the thing is that you are what you make of it. In a sense, so if you make of life through words, you always have enough to go around. You understand? You always have the ability to speak words when you can understand how to speak words. You see, guys, the more content you push into the market, what happens is you start to make sure every single day of your life that you're doing something of spontaneity, that you're really making something that is in creation to the things that you need to do. In a sense, so what you need to realize is every single day you create something that is controversy in terms of communication, in terms of anything to do with ideas that you can throw at other people. You have to understand that's where the money is. The money follows the ideas. So as long as you have so many ideas to give to other people, I promise you, then you can create these ideas into a seminar and you can start really pitching people at your seminar. You can start making business seminars around town around your ideas. You understand? But first you need ideas to teach other people. And the way you do that is because you have to read from a lot of people so much knowledge and material, and then apply that information into your life, and then start teaching people on a regular basis this type of skill that you can teach other people, for example. So you have to understand that that's what leadership seminars and everything to do with everything in life happens to be right now in terms of this moment. So you have to understand that if you really stick to this moment in terms of ideas and in everything that you're saying and doing, you have to start making common sense about what you're saying and what you're doing on a daily basis if you really want to succeed in your life. So you have to start really brainstorming, how can I really give people ideas every single day so that they can benefit their life? I mean, how can I multiply people's businesses in terms of their money value and their also in terms of their revenue for their business? I mean, how can I make sure that people have the best seminar ever? I mean, how can I make sure every single day that they get what they deserve? You know, so you have to realize it's much more every single day that you realize that no matter what happens, you have to lead the words into fruition. So what you do is every single day you speak as many words as possible every single day, and then you realize you're getting somewhere because you're really giving value of some kind, you understand? Because that's what it's all about. I realize it's about giving those ideas. And the more you give ideas into the planet, the more you can get somewhere in terms of wherever you want to be. And then guess what happens? I promise you, every single day, you're just multiplying. You're just multiplying your success this way. So every single day, you have to understand that no matter what happens in life, that everything happens for a reason. You understand? You have to understand it's much more about your circumstance right now. You have to understand that if you want to get to where you want to go in life, you have to work a 9-to-5 job to be able to save that money in terms of life so that you can go and invest it in your business. And your business must be helping other people in seminars, making your own seminars, making your own employees, making sure that you're getting across your message to other people, making sure every single day that you have what you deserve in life, making sure that no matter what happens, that your life happens on a daily basis in a way of health and vibrancy every single day, but making sure every single day you're doing something that's happiness to you. You understand? You have to stick to happiness. You have to understand that you have to do what makes you happy, but you have to also do what makes you the most authentic every single day. You understand? So what I do on my days off, and now you have to realize I don't have any days off in my life. You understand? So I'm always trying to grow. I'm always trying to learn. I'm always trying to stay away from other people. You understand? Because when I stay away from other people, I realize that I start to learn more. You understand? I start to do things even better. So where do I go for my resources? I go for my resources from online theories. So what I do is I go on YouTube, I go on social media, I go read books as much as possible. And I'm such a loner. I'm such a person who is a loner. You understand? I like to be alone. I like to stay single. I like to be somewhere where I can grow. You understand? So, for example, I have a leadership seminar coming up today, actually. And you have to realize because I'm going to this seminar, I'm going to bring my laptop, for example. And because I'm going to bring my laptop, I'm just going to start constantly writing in my laptop about all the ideas I can give to myself from that seminar, you know? So, for example, when I get an idea, I write it down. And because I write things down, then everything comes into fruition that way, because I can help people with that knowledge in some type of furnishing that I want. In a sense, so it's much more about helping people on a regular basis in terms of ideas, words, courage, success, confidence, personality wise, making sure you can talk, making sure you can speak, making sure you can live the dream, making sure you can do something that's every single day going to benefit yourself the most. You understand? So no matter what happens in life, make sure that you're doing the most you can every single day, doing the most of nature in terms of life, making sure you're getting out there, exercising every single day, making sure that you're doing something to expand your business, to expand your ideas, to expand your relationships, to expand everything in your life, so that you have wisdom, you understand? But the only way you can create wisdom is through the words you speak, because apparently it's not enough to hear an idea. Apparently I can give you all the ideas right now in this audio program, but if you don't speak the words of that, apparently if you don't speak the words of my ideas, and if you don't speak the words of what I say, then you'll never learn yourself exactly what I'm talking about. You know, so you have to be constantly writing things down. And I promise you, if you're not writing things down right now in your notepad right now somewhere, then you're losing. I promise you, you're not trying to apply information. You know, so the only way you can apply information is to really, let's say, to learn something spontaneous for yourself every single day, to make sure that no matter what happens in your life, that you're doing something that's going to benefit other people in the long run, you understand? So you have to focus on yourself every single day and do something that's nice and beautiful for yourself every single day. But that's the whole point, you understand? So the whole point is learning to be traditional in your life, but make sure you speak words while you're observing everything, you understand? And when you speak words, so for example, if you go for a drink somewhere, or at the nightclub, or wherever you're going, make sure you're writing things down about how people are around you and what they are doing and what you don't want to do, and write also about what you don't want to do that they are doing. You understand? So making sure that you're learning about what to do and what not to do. You understand? That's the wisdom of life. But the only way you can do that is to teach yourself that. And to teach yourself anything in life, you have to speak the words. You understand? You have to speak words out of your mouth. You have to write it down. You have to write your thoughts down, because that's the only way you can truly focus. So if you really want to focus in life really to the greatest degree possible, I promise you what you need to do is you need to say you have to say no to most of life. I promise you, and the reason for this is because it's going to give you a type of focus where, for example, stay away from people, stay away from places that hurt you, stay away from places that don't bring you health, stay away from things that take away your happiness, stay away from things that are not giving you ideas and constant feedback every single day. You understand? So you have to realize that no matter what, that your feedback of yourself is the most important, and your opinion of yourself is the most important. You understand? So you have to understand that no matter what happens, you have to every single day make sure that you do as much audio programs as possible, making sure you're doing as much video programs as possible, making sure you're giving as much content as possible every single day on a daily basis. Because when you do this, I promise you what happens to be from all of this in terms of information is that people start connecting the words together in their own minds and dreams that they have, and then they start to build wisdom upon what you're saying. You understand? But most people are not doing that because they're not writing their thoughts down. So if there's anything in this audio program I want you to remember, is that if you don't write your thoughts down, you're not learning anything. So this is one way I'm writing my thoughts down right now, and I'm writing it through speaking words to you right now. You have to understand, and because I'm documenting everything, you have to understand that's what I do on a daily basis. I document everything as much as possible, and I post it up online, and that way I become generous. That way I help people in some kind of fashion, and that's how I contribute to the world in some kind of way. You understand? But most people around me personally that I hang around with don't want to listen to my ideas, you understand, because they think they know better. So I stay away from these people as much as I can, and I stay silent with them as much as I can, because you can't teach these people anything. I promise you, if you hang around with people who don't want to listen to your ideas, I promise you, then they're the ones who are criticizing you in a negative way. You understand? So the thing is that you have to stay away from people who don't want your ideas. You understand? Go to people who are open-minded. I promise you, go every single day and do a busking performance in front of people, public speaking, and you understand how business truly works. You understand? Business truly works through understanding, like, for example, Grant Cardone and what he does for his business. Go and check it out. I promise you, go and see exactly what he does in his business, how he does his own videos, how he puts himself in those videos in terms of his images on those videos, and how he conducts himself with his wife. I promise you, go see what he's doing in his online university, for example, and inside of real estate and all these books, for example, and you'll see how business is conducted. I promise you, business is conducted through information giving. You understand? So if you give a lot of information every single day and you stick to the information of life, I promise you, then you have to understand that you're a sole provider of life. You're someone that has to be a sole proprietor. You have to understand that you have to be giving so much information if you want to get to the place you want to go. You understand? Because if you're not giving theories, and if you're not giving words of advice every single day, and if you're not trying to make it into a better way if you're not trying to make it into a better way of life for yourself, then you're just going to lose. You're just going to rot away. You understand? So you have to realize that if you want to grow, you have to be where the growers are. You have to go seminars. You have to understand, you have to go where leaders go. You have to understand every single day, conduct yourself professionally, conduct yourself in a way that is helping other people. You understand? So you have to understand that your product has to be archived, and that means you have to always document things down so that people can watch for a later time. You understand? So no matter what happens in my life, I'm always doing something of content. You understand? So when I do something of content, I'm always trying to provide information to people so that I can live my life even better than before, because that's what it's all about for me personally. I've realized personal happiness means, for me personally, just giving content every single day, understanding how to thrive, understanding how to do even better in my business, and understanding that no matter what, that I don't have to send people my content. I promise you, I just have to send it where people can find it, and that's it. I promise you, that's my job done. You understand? So you have to realize that if you have friends around you who are giving you ideas every single day, I promise you, those are the friends that you need to be around. You need to be around constant people, in terms of people who are always constantly writing something down, that are always happy about life, that always have something going for them. You understand? I promise you, these people are upbeat people. I promise you, even if they may do drugs, for example, but they give a lot of ideas in the process of everything, I promise you, they're still trying to improve their business. I promise you, don't judge people about anything in life. I promise you, don't label people as drug addicts. Don't label them as anything in life. I promise you, try to be nice. I promise you, try to have every single idea in the planet to give to these people so that you can understand how to benefit your life in the process. I promise you, that's what it's all about. So, for example, you go to your seminars, you ask questions to people, you make sure every single day that they can ask you questions. For example, you can understand how to go and do something much better for yourself in terms of whatever it is. For example, so you have to realize that you have to give, you have to be a giver of life, of something, you understand? So people who are not giving a lot of information are the ones that are selfish, you understand? They're very selfish about their success. And you have to understand that if you're not giving information to other people as much as possible, then you're not going to succeed as much as possible. You understand? So that's what it's about. Every single day is understanding that no matter what, that you have to learn how to go about life one step at a time. For example, and understanding where your words go is where you go, for example. But you have to realize that no matter what happens, you have to keep every single day always posting content up on YouTube, making sure you're always progressing in life, making sure you're doing something that's going to help other people in terms of everything that you can do. You understand? So do what you can do. For example, in terms of information, start with your story, start where you're from, start with your location, start with, for example, your nationality. I promise you, how do you want to help other people, for example, and start really asking yourself more questions about how can you open yourself up into the person that you need to be. You understand? So, for example, you have to coach people every single day how to live a better life. You understand? So you have to understand it's not just about how to be, it's not just about how to live a better life. It's also about how to do better business. It's about how to sell people. It's just about how to, I promise you, how to do everything that you can so that you can get into a better state of mind, and so that other people can get into a better state of mind, and so that you can give them the newest information possible today to help their life. You understand? I promise you, if that doesn't open up some kind of idea to you, then I don't know what else can. You understand? So you have to realize that no matter what, every single day, make sure that you're always understanding to not know. I promise you, never be someone who knows anything. I promise you, always be a student. I promise you, always be someone who's always understanding how to grow yourself in the process of life, helping yourself to go certain directions that can help yourself to succeed in other people, for example. But you have to understand that your content has to be so repetitive. Yeah, your content in terms of your information has to be so repetitive, but it has to be said a different way so that you can learn something from it. You understand? So you have to understand that no matter what, that each and every single audio program I've ever done in my life has always been different words. I promise you, it's always been structured differently. You understand? It's always, I promise you, all my content has been structured in a different way. You understand? And because of that, I learned different ways and techniques. I learned different ways and techniques to live my life in a different way, you understand? Because I always go the different way. I always go into a different viewpoint. I always go somewhere where I've never gone before, you understand, in terms of my information, in terms of my words. So I have to stick into a better way of life for myself because that's what my life expects of me. You understand? So the thing is that I don't expect anything of anything. You understand? I don't expect myself to succeed. I don't expect myself to get to my goals. I don't expect anything to happen. You understand? I don't expect other people to give me anything in life. And because I don't expect, I always have a bonus in my life because I'm always achieving much more goals regardless of how much I expect and regardless of how much I don't expect. You understand? But the thing is that no matter what, because I don't expect anything from life, I'm always getting what I deserve. You understand? I'm always getting exactly the work I put in. You understand? So the more work I put in, the more I get out of the work I have. You understand? So for example, if you put level 10 work in, you'll get level 10 work results. You understand? So you have to always 10x things in life. Just like Grant Cardone says, for example, is 10x growth business. You understand? I promise you, that's a business. I promise you, that's an event. I promise you, that you have to understand that when people come to your event, that's a business. You understand? That's something that sells people on something. You understand? You have to sell people on something. You have to realize that I want to tell you exactly what Grant Cardone does. I promise you, he produces a lot of information. He gives a lot of information for free. And then he sells people on his products. And because he sells people on his products, and because he does real estate on the side, he makes enough money every single day to be able to travel the world in his jet and everything that he has, for example, because he has a wife and children as well. But you have to understand that no matter what, that because of all of his successes, he's only ever made his success because of the words he spoke. You know what I'm saying? Because even Tony Robbins, for example, or any kind of individual in the planet who's succeeded so much is because they spoke the words. For example, you have to understand that because they speak the words of that, or they speak the words out of their mouth, they create so much success because words are that powerful to get you to where you want to be and to get you to where you need to be. So, for example, if you look at Oprah Winfrey, you'll understand she's outspoken. You know, since she's outspoken, she can talk words. I promise you, if you look at Tony Robbins, he can do 9-hour seminars in front of people, 12-hour seminars, 12-hour days in front of people, just fucking speaking all day long, you know? And the thing is, that's fucking powerful. I promise you, that's so powerful. In a sense, to be able to speak that much words every single day about anything, just fucking ask people questions. I promise you, get people to answer your questions. I promise you, get people to also understand what their questions are, understand everything about business on that day or whatever it is in terms of ideas that can get you to move forward. That's all he does every single day is understanding different points of views, understanding how to speak over people in terms of understanding how to actually conduct himself professionally and to conduct themselves professionally in terms of people, in terms of in front of people as well. So you have to understand that when people are conducting themselves in front of people in a nice way, I promise you that's the attitude you want. You want to be able to be around nice people in terms of people who give you positive feedback around life, but also who give you words of advice to improve yourself as well. And I'm saying that's what you'll find, that people are not crazy, but people are also crazy to some extent. You understand? I promise you that's a contradiction of life. And you have to understand that life is very contradictory. I promise you, sometimes somebody is doing so good in life, but in their habits they're failing. You understand? So you have to realize that was my life. You have to understand that I was succeeding so much, but my habits were failing me. You know what I'm saying? And it's much more how I was failing myself in my habits. And so for example, now because I do much better because of my words and everything I do, I find that there's so much more value that I can give every single day to people, every single day doing much more work in regards to everything that I'm doing every single day. But understanding that I like to make the newest audio programs possible for everyone with the newest information possible around business or whatever it is. I go get the information, then I give it to you as much as possible. And now I don't have many followers online, for example. I don't have many people following me, for example, but you have to realize that the thing is that I'm trying to work at it. I'm trying to work every single day to get to a better level of understanding about my business personally, because I don't need followers to understand my life. I don't need followers to live a great life. I don't need followers to make money. I don't need followers for anything other than to make sure that they are growing themselves through my content. You understand? So that's it. I promise you, it's either you understand something or not. You understand? So you have to realize that no matter what happens in life, just make sure that you're free flowing. You understand? Free flowing with life, making sure that you're abundant, making sure that you're doing something of good intent. You understand? You're making sure every single day you're doing as much content as possible. You understand? That's where the key is. Partially, the key is in how much content can you do for other people, and then how fast can you do that content. You understand? How fast can you get yourself up and ready to go? I mean, how fast can you get yourself to speak those words and to make sure that you understand how to get your message across simply and effortlessly in a way that is growing you and everyone else. You understand? So you have to understand that no matter what happens in life, you always have to be in something in life. You have to understand you have to do something that's going to be successful in your life. You understand? So no matter what, business is conducted in the best way. You understand? So when you do business in a nice way, I promise you that's the best way. I promise you. You have to understand that business is something that earns money. You understand? I promise you have to understand an entrepreneur is somebody who's earning money on their business. I promise you that's all it is. I promise you that's the meaning of an entrepreneur. You understand? But an entrepreneur can also be someone who's giving information. You understand? And you have to understand everyone's an entrepreneur to some degree. You understand? Because everyone has to think on their toes. I promise you everyone has to think on their own. You understand? Everyone has their own words that they have to give out. I promise you, I have people on social media who are just watching me. I promise you, they're just watching me and they're not taking any action. I mean, do you understand? So the thing is, yes, they're taking action to read and all that, but they're not taking enough action to make a social media work for them. You understand? They're not building upon what they have. I promise you, all they're trying to do is just read. But reading is not enough. I promise you, reading is not enough to get you to the point where you need to be. You understand? So you have to understand reading with action is the best way. You have to understand. So the more you read, the more action you have to take. You understand? You have to understand every single day I try to work as much as I can. I try to understand as much as I can. I try to give as much content as I can. You understand? Because I understand that content gets me somewhere in life. And because that content gets me somewhere in life, I understand exactly what I need to do to make sure that I'm successful in life in all areas of life. You understand? So no matter what happens in my life, I'm always trying to be successful. You understand? I'm always trying to do something that I've never done before. I'm always trying to go a new direction I've never gone before in. I mean, I'm always trying to make sure that my business is always solely related to something that's going to be beneficial for the humanity of this planet. You understand? So that's what a business does. I promise you, a business gives a service. I promise you, a business is something that gives a lot of services and making sure that you're helping people with those services. So, for example, a business creates a lot of books. A business also creates a lot of audio programs and a lot of video programs, and always creates a promise you, a business is always creating something. You know, so if you want to be in the business of life, you have to be a creator. You have to be an artist. You have to be someone who's always creating something, whether it be images, whether it be design, whether it be music, or maybe it's life coaching advice, or whatever it is. You have to understand that no matter what it is, you have to every single day understand that there's always a way to understand what you need to do on a daily basis to get yourself from one point to another. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand the wisdom of that. You have to understand that everything is wisdom. You understand? So every single day you have to teach as much as possible everything about your life so that you can understand your life, so that you can understand exactly where you're going, so that you can understand exactly how you need to be, and so that you can act accordingly to how you need to be. You understand? So I promise you, everyone wants to be their best versions, but not everybody's doing exactly as they need to do to be their best version. You understand? I promise you, everyone wants to be much more authentic and much more prosperous and much more rich. I mean, do you understand? But some people are just not willing to do the work required to do that. In a sense, so it takes a lot of work to be able to get to be able to get yourself from A to B. You know, so it takes a lot of work. I promise you, it takes a lot of work to be able to get yourself from somewhere that you need to be to somewhere where you need to understand. In a sense, you have to realize there are always different perspectives of everything that you need to understand around life. In a sense, so you have to understand there's so much going on around business and life. I promise you, every single car is a business. I promise you, everything's a business in life. I promise you, you have to use businesses to your advantage so that you can prosper from it. You know, so you have to use other people and their information and everything that you have in life. You have to use it or you'll be abused by it. You know, so it's much more, you have to realize that no matter what, you have to use everything in life to get into a sole point of advantage so that you can get yourself into a better state of mind so that you can help people to better their states of mind. Yes, and that's what true business is about. So understanding that no matter what, you have to understand your role in terms of this audio program and where you are at. So you have to unlock yourself. You have to unlock your potential every single day. You have to every single day, no matter what happens, is read upon your life in a different way every single time and just express yourself as much as you can and understand that no matter what, you just upload it the way it is, and you have to realize and you just keep going. You understand? You keep going the more you can, and you just never give up. I promise you, never give up upon your life because you're working a 9 to 5 job or whatever it is. I promise you have to understand that there are people out there who just want your money and that's it. You have to understand that I don't want your money. I don't want anything from you. You understand? I don't expect you to follow me. I don't expect anything from you. You understand? I'm just here to give my share of advice. I'm here to give my share of wisdom. I'm here to show you a better way, and that's it. You understand? So you have to realize that no matter what, that the best information comes for free. You understand? You have to understand everything that's for free is the best information in the world. So if you can understand every single day how to get yourself into a state of mind where you're prosperous, where you're actually grateful for your life, where you're actually happy because you're happening to be a much better person now than before, where you're working much faster, where you're just going and you're having better focus, you have better concentration now than ever before, and you have a greater outlook about life. I promise you, you're thinking outside the box because things outside the box just make you a genius of some kind, because those are the thoughts out there that you need to understand, and the only way to understand it is to speak the words of everything. In a sense, so you have to understand that if you're not speaking words, you're losing. I promise you have to understand that if you have to understand anything about life, it's speak more words and you'll get there. I mean, you understand? I promise you, that's how you understand life. I promise you understand life by speaking words. You don't understand life by listening. You understand life by speaking words. You understand? But you have to understand that you have to listen too. You have to understand listening is a big part of business. I promise you, it's much more about how you listen than it is about anything else. In a sense, so you have to realize that it's much more about understanding what you're talking about also, and understanding every single day, understanding how to speak over everything every single day. So you have to realize every single day, learn how to speak words of advice every single day of your life, of something of your nature where you can give to other people your generosity in terms of your information so that you can get your point across and so that you can go and have a better business.